Namaskar and welcome to all of you in the CIS Campus GS University YouTube channel. And before starting the lecture, I must explain you that we are discussing our topic solar system, that is the topic number 7. Topic number 2. And yesterday we have discussed the first part of the solar system, and today we are going to discuss the second part of our solar system. In the first part, I have explained you the solar system configuration and how its work and the structure through a broad diagram. And today we are taking out to discuss some important terminologies related with the solar system. So let's start part 2 of the topic solar system. Before starting the topic, one more point, that I will providing you link of 3 links. One, the solar system part 1 topic. Second link will be the solar system of part 2 topic, and third will be the link of that page on which you are finding both these topics. So if you are getting only one topic, so assume that you are seeing this video after 48 hours. That's why you have to go on that page and scroll over there to find out these first and second part of our topic solar system. So now let's start the topic solar system. And the first terminologies and the second terminology we are going to discuss is Purnima and Amavasya. Now the Purnima is also known full moon night. That means you are seeing a complete moon, 100% of the frontal surface of the moon. That's what is known as a Purnima. And the Amavasya known as new moon night. Why new moon nights? From the Amavasya nights onward, now you are start to see the moon with increasing order. Up to Purnima, you are seeing the full moon, and then from the Purnima to the Amavasya, we are seeing the decreasing order. And from Amavasya to again Purnima, we are seeing increasing order. So from Purnima to Amavasya, decreasing order of the moon, and from Amavasya to Purnima, that is the increasing of the moon. So first, starting this topic, we have to discuss the another point. In the Hindu calendar, the year is divided on the movement of sun, Surya ki gati par, and year is divided into the 2 parts, Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. Starting from 21st of March up to 23rd of September, the sun resides in the northern hemisphere. That's why this time period is known as Uttarayan. And from 23rd of September to the 21st of March, sun resides in the southern hemisphere of the earth. That's why this state is known as a Dakshinayan. वह स्थिति जब सूर्य उत्तरी गोलार्ध में उत्तरायण और वह स्थिति जब सूर्य दक्षिण गोलार्ध में दक्षिणायन. So Uttarayan and Dakshinayan are divided on the movement on sun, whereas the 12 months according to the Hindu calendar are divided into the 2 parts, months, divided into the 2 parts based on the movement of sun, Chandrama ki gati, and that is known as Shukla Paksh and Krishna Paksh. 15 days for Shukla Paksh and 15 days for Krishna Paksh, and when we combine both becomes 30 days, that is month. So 15 month has been given to the Shukla Paksh, 15 days has been given to the Shukla Paksh and 15 days has been given to the Krishna Paksh. Now when we have the increasing order of the moon, Shukla Paksh, and we have when the decreasing order of the moon, that is known as Krishna Paksh. The 15th day of the increasing of the moon is known as Purnima, whereas the 15th day of the decreasing of the moon is known as a Amavasya, which means no moon in sky. And how it is happening? So look over here. The first stage is of Purnima and the second stage is of Amavasya. In the state of Purnima, the moon is over here. Moon, that is Earth and Sun. So the moon is getting the direct light of the sun and we are seeing the illuminated portion of moon. This one. That's why we are seeing the 100% of illuminated portion of the moon and known as Purnima. In the state of Amavasya, the moon is here and only this portion is illuminated from the sun rays. And we are seeing the dark side of the moon, that is the invisible side of the moon, and in the night we are unable to see this invisible side of the moon. That's why we know it as a Amavasya. Right? So this one is Purnima and this one is Amavasya. In the Amavasya, the moon is between Earth and Sun, and in the Purnima, the Earth is between Sun and the moon. These are the exact condition when we have the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. In the state of Amavasya, we have the solar eclipse, and in the state of Purnima, we have the lunar eclipse. Though it is not happening year or month to month basis, this is because of the orbit of the moon is somehow declined. The orbit of the moon is somehow inclined. And this inclination angle is 5.4 degree. That's why not on every month we are getting the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. This I will explain when we are discussing the movement of the earth or the motion of the earth. So we are clear with these two terminologies, that how the Purnima is happening and how the Amavasya is happening. Now the next terminology, important terminology, is celestial body. Celestial body. So what is this celestial body? So we are starting from here, that we have the celestial matter in space. And what are those celestial matter in the space? Those are dust particles, then we have gases, and then we have metals. Right? So based on this celestial matters in the space, we divide the celestial metal in two categories. One is celestial objects and another one is celestial body. So what is the difference? Everything is starting with the celestial object. With some chemical composition and increasing order of the gravitational force, the celestial object transformed into the celestial body. What is? Celestial objects are scattered, invisible, and not having definite mass. 3 points: scattered in the space, air and air, not invisible, generally these are invisible, and not having the definite mass. Whereas the celestial body, organized, visible, and definite mass. Now to the example: sun, planets, satellites, asteroids, even from the minute organized dust particle known as a celestial body. These are visible, yes, very much visible. We can see sun, planet, satellite. Definite to the mass. These are known as a body just because they are having a definite mass. That's why the celestial matter is categorized into the two subjects, that is the celestial object and the celestial body, and these are the characteristics of celestial body. I have provided you the flow chart of this celestial matters classification. Next, you don't need anything about, because I have provided you the written, colored, well-mannered notes, and the link is provided in your description box. Next we have the star, then planet, then satellite. Now, all these are the example of celestial body. In one celestial body, which we are taking as a star, heat and light is present. That's why this kind of celestial body known as a star. So that celestial body which have its own heat and light known as star. Another celestial body in which heat and light are not present and illuminated by the sun known as planet. And most important point, does its revolution around the sun. Next, example of satellite. So that celestial body which also do not have its heat and light and does its revolution around a planet known as satellite. Example, moon. Now look at that celestial body which have its own heat and light known as sun. Known as a star, and our sun is a star. That celestial body which do not have its own heat and light and illuminated by the light of the sun and does its revolution around the sun known as a planet. And that satellite body which also do not have its heat and light and illuminated also by this light of sun, and does its revolution around a planet known as a satellite. Now, next terminology. Constellation. Constellation. Look, we have a one sun over here, another sun over here. Sun, 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 and sun. Now I am connecting all these suns. Right? Now look, a certain pattern has emerged. What is question mark? So the group of the sun with a definite position forming a certain pattern is known as a constellation. The group of the sun with a definite position forming a certain pattern is known as the constellations. So constellations are the group of the star which are in the definite kind of position always. So known as a constellation. So one of the known constellation is Big Bear. Big Bear and Saptarishi. Saptarishi is the part of large constellation known as a Big Bear. Right? Then we have next terminology is geoid. Geoid. What is this? Now look, this is our Earth, and for your convenience I am drawing the line equator. Right? From the center of the Earth, an imaginary line has been drawn. From the center of the Earth, an imaginary line has been drawn, that is axis. And what is this axis? Connecting the North Pole to the South Pole. So that imaginary line which is connecting the North Pole to the South Pole is known as axis. Now, Earth has two kinds of motion. Earth has two kinds of motion. One is revolution. In the revolution, the Earth is rotating around the Sun in a definite path and in a definite time frame. We will elaborate in this topic the motion of the Earth. That will be the series number 5 topic, motion of the Earth. And another motion Earth is doing is rotation. Rotation. So when the Earth move around its axis, known as rotation, and the rotation is speed is 465 meter per second. And the rotation speed is 465 meter per second. That means almost 0.5 kilometer every second. For the round figure. Now with this so large mass, when the Earth is rotating with this speed, that means almost half kilometer per second, the mass gets displacement under the rotational force, and due to this displacement, Earth somewhat compressed on its pole and bulge and having a bulge from the middle. Now, due to this rotation and enormous mass, this original shape of the earth comes out, and this original shape of the earth is known as geoid. That means somewhat compressed at the pole, north pole and south pole, and little bit bulge in the middle. Middle is equator. So this shape of the earth is known as geoid. Next terminology is orbit. What is this orbit? Look, this is our sun and this is earth, and earth will revolve around the sun. With a definite time, by following a definite route. What is the definite time? 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, 46 seconds. 365 days, and this one is almost 6 hours. So we consider our year is of 365 days, and with every fourth year we combine this 6 hours. That means 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, 24 hours. That means 1 day, and when we add this 1 day to the 365, the year become 366 days, and this one is known as leap year. Leap year. So when the earth move around the sun in a definite path and with a certain time limit known as orbit of the sun, and inclination of the earth orbit is 0 degree, where the inclination of the moon orbit is 5.4 degree. Just because of this inclination, we do not get in every month the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. I will explain in the next lecture. So the orbit is this, inclination of the earth orbit is 0 degree. Now the length of the earth orbit is 92 crore kilometer, and the direction is from west to east. The direction of the revolution is from west to east. The total path in the kilometer is 92 crore kilometer, and the days are the 365 in general year, and in the definite path, in the definite time frame. This is known as orbit of the earth. In this orbit, the earth revolutes around the sun, and that motion is known as a revolution. And the last one terminology we are going to discuss in this lecture is galaxy. I have explained you that this is our earth, and the earth resides in solar system. Now where is the solar system? In galaxy. And our name of our galaxy is Milky Way galaxy. Now where is this Milky Way galaxy? Local group of galaxies. Where are these local group of galaxies? Virgo, supercluster cluster. And where is this Virgo supercluster? And like another Virgo supercluster, they reside is Lanikia supercluster. And all this is the part of visible section of the universe. Visible section of the universe, which is almost 30%. I have provided you in explanatory form in my previous lecture. The 5% is direct and the 25% is indirect. If you didn't see that lecture, please go to my universe lecture. And the 70% is invisible section. So what is in the universe? In the universe we have the dust, we have the gas particles, and we have the matters. So along with the dust, gas particles and matters, and with the sun, dust particles plus gases plus metals plus star. Object is formed known as galaxy. And in the simplest language, the galaxies are known as a group of the stars. And name of our galaxy is a Milky Way galaxy. So that is for today. That is all for today's lecture. That is the solar system part 2. I have provided yesterday the solar system part 1 lecture, and previous to that the universe. And in the next lecture we are going to discuss the cycle of star life. So connect with the YouTube channel. If you are thinking the channel is important for you and you are getting the knowledge, so go there and subscribe the channel and like the video. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.